The Owl House Season 2, Episode 14, Reaching Out, came out this weekend, and it was absolutely fantastic. Normally, I go back through the episode and give my thoughts in my reaction video, but I decided to try an experiment this week by doing a separate in-depth review. I really enjoyed making my top 10 Owl House episodes video a while back, and I've been wanting to get into doing video essays on my second channel, but for the time being, I thought this might be a good way to split the difference. I've gone back through the episode and taken some notes, so let's take a look at my thoughts on the Owl House Season 2, Episode 14, Reaching Out. Now, I actually didn't realize this until somebody pointed it out in the comments on my last video, but apparently I missed the intro and the theme song. I don't know if that part was just missing on Disney now, or if it did that thing where it skips the theme song and accidentally skipped the entire intro too, but whatever the case, I didn't see it. I am really glad that I went back to watch it though before doing this review, because it was a really great scene. It may have been short, but it was still really powerful, and it did a good job of setting up what Luz's conflict was going to be through the rest of the episode. We then see Luz obsessing over to-dos and various plans in order to distract herself, which I can absolutely relate to in that regard. Luz has always been one of the most relatable characters for me in this show. And we see a few interesting details on her board. I think maybe she has a picture of herself dead. I really hope that's not foreshadowing for anything. She also seems to have circled the AN in Titan, so I'm not sure exactly what that's all about. And she also wrote the book, which I'm assuming refers to Philip's diary. Of course, given the state that Luz is in, it's entirely possible that I could be overanalyzing this scene, but we've seen in the past that the writers usually don't throw in details if it's not for a reason. Another detail I really liked was getting to see Hunter's Penstagram page and that he was trying to send a cute picture of Flapjack to somebody. I like to believe that he was sending it to Willow. Maybe they're hinting at something there, but then again, he made 3 other friends, so it could have been anybody. Getting more serious, Luz then confides in Ida and King that today is a special day for her and her mom, but she's sad that they can't be together. This episode honestly made me have even more respect for Luz as a character, because no matter how much pain she's in or what she's going through, she never wants to take it out on others. Now, granted, we will see later in the episode that this tends to backfire for her, but I have a lot of respect nonetheless. Right on cue, Amity shows up with a perfect distraction for Luz, and we get to see what's going on with her and her dad. I really like how they handled Alador in this episode. He's been a very interesting character to fans because we've essentially gotten 2 versions of him. We got him in the Season 1 flashback where he basically seemed to be just as bad and manipulative as Odalia towards Amity. But then when we see him in Season 2, he seems more detached and he seems to be the slightly more understanding parent. So that's naturally led to us fans being curious about what exactly this dude is all about. In this episode, he seems to be a combination of those 2 characters. We definitely see the more detached Alador, and at the end we see him trying to be a better father to Amity. But we also see a bit of that flashback Alador with him being very stern and refusing to listen because he cares more about the family and status than actually listening to what Amity wants. Amity shows Luz a picture of Alador winning the champion's belt back when he was her age, and we get even more fun details in this picture. We see Darius standing behind him booing, and I think I even see an abomination on the other side that Darius may have conjured in order to also boo Alador, but correct me if I'm wrong. We see a demon that kind of looks like a young Warden Wrath maybe being jealous, which could lead to him being the champion in this episode. Ida and Rain are in the background, which is adorable as always. It looks like she's messing with them yet again. And of course we see Odalia both blushing and grinning maniacally, because why not? But speaking of blushing, oh my god, Luz and Amity are so adorable in this episode. I just love how casual they're becoming with each other over time, and they even bring back certain parts of their dynamic that we haven't seen since they were just friends. We also get some nice unexpected character moments. I did not expect to see Warden Wrath again, but it was cool seeing a character from the pilot episode make another appearance. And I think maybe the part about the episode that I appreciate the most in hindsight is Ed, of all people. With all the stuff that they have to juggle before the series is over, they really didn't have to include him. We already had a bunch of Lumini moments, we had epic witches duels, all that stuff, but they still gave a little bit of character development for him, and I just really appreciate that. Also, I love that he did end up keeping that bat and named him Batrick. I really loved the music in this episode, especially around the part where they're catching that badger. Like, it's just, the music is always on point, but it was especially great here, so major props to the music department. But of course, once we get to the end of the episode, all the emotional stuff just comes crashing down. Luz flat out lies to Amity, and she finds out. Her dad shows up, Amity runs away, and then Oh man, we get to that scene at their Grom tree. The silent ambience of this scene is just so perfect and supports the emotion really well. And we finally get an answer to a question that we had all been asking for a while, is that Luz's dad has indeed passed away. The reason this scene hit you so hard is because of how effectively it was handled. Luz is normally so full of positivity and optimism, yet here we see it really being used as a way to hide her pain, both because she doesn't want to have to process it, but she also just doesn't want to take it out on others. This really made me empathize and respect Luz even more as a character. Sarah Nicole Robbs just did an absolutely fantastic job in this scene. She really sold it and brought everything she had, and I loved it. Luz manages to pull herself together and help everyone else take down the transformed Warden Wrath, and she even has a moment where she's smooth to Amity before going off, because that's just who Luz is. I love it. What I really love the most about this scene is just how far Amity has come as a character. She's becoming a lot more confident and assertive again, but this time she's doing it the right way and for the right reasons. She has a nice moment with her dad, but I respect that she rejected his hug and just opted out for a handshake. He may be the lesser of two evils when it comes to Amity's parents, but he certainly made plenty of mistakes and has a long way to go, but I at least respect that he's trying. And now it's time for some speculation on the Day of Unity based on the little bit of information that we got from Warden Wrath. According to him, the Day of Unity is supposedly supposed to unite the entire Boiling Isles with the Titan, but what exactly does that mean? Is Belos going to revive the Titan and use him for some sinister purpose? Given what we learned about him a few episodes ago, is that the only way that he can get rid of wild magic on the island? But if the Titan were revived, then wouldn't that essentially destroy the Boiling Isles? In fact, now that I think about it, all life on the Boiling Isles evolved from the remains of the Titan, so if the Titan comes back, then that's probably not going to be good for magic life. But then again, if Belos' plan is to just kill everybody on the isle, surely there were other ways that he could have gone about doing that. As always, I really like that we're getting a slightly better idea of what's in store for us, but we're also asking a lot more questions, which is going to keep us engaged for the rest of the season. And then the final scene with Luz and Amity was absolutely beautiful. I really was on the verge of tears. It was such a perfect way to wrap everything up, and the animation quality was once again absolutely astounding. We get a brief glimpse of Luz's mom with V in the human realm, and we see how she reacts to this day. It's just a nice little way to cap that off. Overall, this was an absolutely fantastic episode. It was jam-packed with emotion, some of the most emotional moments that we've gotten in the entire series. It had a lot of great moments for the characters, it had some nice references to previous episodes, and it gave us some more hints about what's coming with the Day of Unity. Dana Terrace and her team are just killing it this season. Each episode gets better and better, and I cannot wait to see what we're going to get in the next couple episodes. And now I'm going to turn it over to you guys. What did you think of this episode? What do you think of this new episode review format that I'm trying, as opposed to just giving my thoughts in my reaction? Whatever it is, feel free to share your thoughts down in the comments and let me know what you think. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know as soon as I drop a new video. A very big thank you as well to all of my patrons, especially my fellow directors. Everybody's support goes a long way, and you are greatly appreciated. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you for the Owl House Season 2, Episode 15.